This video is over volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. In our first problem, we have a cylinder with a radius of 3, and it also has a height of 8. We use those values for our formula, pi r squared h, plugging in the radius 3 and the height 8. Solve the exponent first. 3 squared is 9, and then multiply times the height. 9 times 8 is 72. The directions do not tell us to multiply by 3.14 or the fraction 22/7, so that means we're going to multiply by the pi button on the calculator to get an answer of 226.1946711, a whole bunch of numbers. The directions tell us to round to the nearest hundredth, so that would be 19 is in the hundredths place, and the 4 rounds down, meaning the 0.19 stays 0.19. For number 2, we have a cone that has a radius of 3, and it has a height of 74. We use those numbers in our formula, pi r squared h divided by 3, plugging in 3 for the radius and 74 for the height. Solving our exponents first, 3 squared is 9. Multiplying the 9 times the height, 74, to get 666. Dividing by 3 to get 222. And then multiplying by pi. The directions do not say 3.14 or the fraction 22/7, so we use the pi button on our calculator and get 697.43356, on and on and on. Because the directions tell us to round to the nearest hundredth, that's the 43, the other 3 tells us to round down, meaning our 0.43 stays the same. For our last problem, we have the sphere, and this sphere has a diameter of 14. So our first step is to take half of the diameter, because we only want the radius. Half of 14 is 7. So that's the number that we use in the formula, 4 pi r to the third power divided by 3. So plug in the radius that you found, 7, and solve the exponents first. 7 to the third power gives us 343. We jump over pi and multiply that by 4 to get 1372. Divide that answer by 3 to get 457.3 repeating. Don't clear out the calculator. Leave those repeating decimals in the problem, because we're going to multiply by the pi button on the calculator. The directions do not say 3.14 22/7. That's why we use the pi button on the calculator. We get 1436.75504. The directions tell us to round to the nearest hundredth. 75 is in the hundredths place. The other 5 tells us to round up. So we end up with 1436.76 for our final answer.